feel alive. Sits home deep like a heartbeat pulse. Electro dreams where we are lost. Neon waves take us back in time.
Welcome, everybody. It's your boy here, the Versace Stunner. We got a very special guest for you in the house today. You know, we always talk sometimes wrestling. We've been talking horror, and we talk music. But today we actually got a musician with us, and I listened to some of the stuff he sent me, and I have to say, I was vibing out. I was jamming in my car. Welcome to the show, Rose.
How you doing? I'm Rodis. I'm honored to be on the Versace Stoner podcast, and let's talk music, man.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where you from?
I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I'm from the South Side. I'm not down with the drill music or drill movement or anything like that, but I don't have nothing against it. I'm just a pure hip hop artist from
Just not.
Chicago.
There you go, just not your vibe. Well, Chicago has a rich, heritage in general. I feel for all sorts of, it's another landmark. People forget about that, but it's just as mainstream as in LA or in New York when it comes to things in the world.
Yeah, we definitely a melting pot here in Chicago. We got our own identity, but we are like those cities. Yeah.
But okay, you're not into the drill scene, and that's fine because I said, whether it be even just in the realm of hip hop or whether it be in the realm of music, there is so many intergenres now that you can find something you like. What would you define your genre to be? Would it be just old fashioned hip hop?
Um, I'll say hip hop. Yeah, golden era hip hop mixed with a little new stuff. I got my own unique identity, but it's more golden era hip hop.
And what would you consider the golden era to be?
Um, the exact year I would say 1995. A lot of good albums came out that year. The infamous Only Built for Cuban Links, Do or Die, a lot of albums. So I'll say 95.
Think what Coolio dropped his album in '95, did he not? Or was it a little bit later?
Yeah, Coolio dope. Rest in peace, Coolio.
No, that I mean mid '90s you had a lot of unique artists. I think that's the difference between eras of hip hop. Today we have a lot of artists, but we all sound the same. Everybody has their own devices. It all sound the same. Back then, everybody tried their hardest to be the different, unique, have a voice that didn't sound like anybody else, and everybody had their own persona, personality, vibe to them that just today is kind of melted into everybody's a little bit kind of the same.
I know. And I agree with that 100%. Everybody, it seems like a lot of artists are chasing being somebody else when it's just cool to be yourself. People will identify with your authenticity.
Yeah, I mean, collabs and cool and all if you want to vibe with somebody, but at the end of the day, you only have your own accomplishments to look at. Like, you can't have somebody make you. Yeah, you can
No.
get you fame, but that once that song is done or it's outplayed, you're still back to yourself.
Yeah, you gotta be able to hold it down. I I try to make timeless music. That's what I try to do. When I approach a project, I try to make a good body of work, and I focus on replay value.
Yeah, no, definitely. You want something that you don't have, you can listen to. I mean, I'm a big, I got my playlist, and that's whatever's on that playlist, I listen to 2, 3 times a day because that's what's in the car that plays over and over again.
Yeah,
Uh,
the car's the ultimate test.
it is what goes to my car because in the house, I don't get, I mean, sometimes if I'm cooking or something, I have Alexa go off and play a playlist, but cars where I have total control, it's hooked to the phone. The phone's got its unique playlist. Whatever's in there is what goes.
Yeah, especially like if you got long trips or just general commute. you know?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And honestly, I use music in a lot of ways. I'll use it to hype me up. I'll use it to get me motivated. I used to do amateur boxing. There was plenty of times I'd use workout music or fight music to get me ready and into the mode of fight. Well, hip hop played a big influence into that. People like KRS-One, they would get me in a mindset to ready to fight.
That's what's up. I say like NWA, they really, hype you up. But it's a lot of good music. It's a lot of good music. Variety is like a buffet. It's all about whatever you want to consume, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean even NWA, while it seems kind of crazy now, it's timeless music. It sets a tone of what the era was like in the '80s. It gives
Exactly.
you a great picture of it from the inside too, not from like the outside of people watching, like people living in there.
Exactly. I agree. One time I had the whole NWA, I want to say, it was the album before Ice Cube made Death Certificate. I want
Okay.
to say Niggas for Life.
Yep.
And I had it playing in my stories, and somebody messaged me and said, "When this come out?" I said last week, cause it didn't age at all, you know.
And sometimes things don't have to because, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but injustices and things that happened in the '80s, happened in the '90s, happened in the 2000s, 2010s, and still happening today. So those
All the
songs are
time.
still relevant, all
Yep.
still relevant.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So when did you get into this? Did you start as a kid writing music and dropping lines, or did it kind of grow as you grew up?
So I'm gonna tell you, when I was younger, I wanted to be a member of New Edition, and once I found out that that wasn't happening, you know, I heard rap, and I was like, "Hey, I could write. I'm a little crafty and witty and creative." So, I started out like making comic books and stuff like that, but that is a form of writing.
Yep.
So, I just started writing rhymes, but I never told nobody that I could rap. So I actually recorded my first rap like in '93. And
Nice, nice.
I let my friends hear it and they was like, yo, it's dope. It's dope. And so I just did my research on the business because it was always stories about artists getting screwed over out of their publishing and everything like
Yep.
that. And I didn't want that to happen to me. So I got this book called Making It in the Music Industry, and it showed you what to do, how much you get paid on a major. Like I've been offered deals and everything, but I can't do the fast and a record thing. I
No, I
can't do
get that. I had to think for a second. '93, that put me at around like 10, and like I think
that.
that's when I. But that's funny that you mentioned because that's when I first like listened to hip hop. I was listening to the radio, and the local radio at that point was
hmm
on repeat for two songs, like "Shoot" by Salt and Pepper there, and I think and
Yeah.
then and Gin and Juice by Snoop Dogg had dropped. And they were
Yeah.
just playing these over and over again. I ended up getting into it.
hmm
I ended up going down this West Coast rabbit hole. I ended up starting to like all, this West Coast rap, Ice Cube. They
hmm
were actually singing about getting screwed over. You had Ice Cube dropping diss tapes against, this one, Easy E, that whole beef. But
Right.
it got me into it. And then, as I got into it more, Cypress Hill started to emerge and Wu-Tang Clan started coming up. And then I
hmm
started to go back though, back into like early '80s and '70s rap, when it just started to form, and you had old school hip hop coming out,
hmm
and a lot of dance and party tracks, and just kind of soaked it all in. Now a lot of my friends, they didn't like rap, they didn't listen to rap. A lot of them listened to rock. People always frowned upon me for listening to rap. They always wanted me to like, hey, check out Metallica, and I'm like, dude, I've listened to all that. I appreciate the music, but I like a story. Okay, and
Yeah.
you mentioned the writing, but more than writing, it's a form of storytelling. Whether you sing it in a song, you write in a comic, you write in a book, you're telling a
hmm
story. You know, one of my some of my favorite artists would be like, oh, now I'm just gonna blank on me, but um, they've written some pretty rugged stories, and they just put it into forms of rap, and it's like not everything is glamorous in this world. There's a very dark, evil, gritty side, but it
Yeah,
can be told. It can be told in a way that's both informative but yet entertaining.
exactly. Like on my new album, I got a song where I'm rapping from the perspective of the streets. And I talk about the streets all the way from biblical times all the way up until now.
Yeah, I mean that, but that's the story, and I mean you can envision, you can put yourself there. What would you see? How would you see that? What would things look like to you being looking at all this just pass by?
Hmm.
And I could put myself next. Again, I like that kind of thought process. I work with a lot of creativity, movies, things like that, and it's like you venture out, and I think that's what makes things gives you the edge, whether it's a song or whatever. To think a little bit deeper, go one step deeper, wherever you think you are. Then now go a little bit deeper into it.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. You absolutely right because um don't 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 be afraid to try different things, you know? Push yourself. Always push yourself cuz you can go further.
now it came to me, of course, Immortal Technique. They've written some really good
Yeah,
songs that tell
I
some
like
really dark stories, but they've
mhm.
done it in a way that make you listen.
Mhm. And Immortal Technique production is always tight. And his lyrics, you're going to get lyricism.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what I kind of grew up with. People like Tribe Called Quest and stuff that had the lyricism,
Mhm.
not so much the beat. The beats were great, but the lyrics is what you listened for. You listened for
Right.
those, and how are they going to work this into the story? Um,
Exactly.
so you dropped this in '93. Obviously, the world has changed since then. What kind of have you noticed as far as trends? What has really been the major differences in this industry?
I think that people a lot of artists are coming to the realization that they don't need a label to be successful. But the quality of music is getting better, but it's a lot of people trying to do the same thing. That's what I think. I kind of like what Nas is doing with Mass Appeal. All those albums he dropped this year on the Legend Hazard series. Slick Rick, Raekwon, Ghostface, De La Soul, Big L, all those Mob Deep, all those albums are really good.
Now, do you now you do the vocal stuff? Do you also do the beat work, or do you have someone within that does the beats and stuff?
So I do production, but I've been keeping it under wraps. I got maybe like 7 placements, but not this project, but my next projects, I'm gonna do a lot of production on my own stuff.
Just because it made me think. You mentioned how things sound the same, and I've done some voices with rapping and stuff. I've done also some
Mhm.
using some. I needed music for film shots that I just want rights to, and you'll go through and you'll look at beats, and it'll be like Tiger style beat or like Drake style beats. Like
Oh no,
I don't want that. I need an
no,
original ass beat.
exactly. Yeah, that all my stuff is original.
And
Mhm.
I think AI ain't helping that on the music scene. They could take something and make it sound a little bit different, and it just. Uh,
Yeah,
but
you gotta invest.
well, yeah. I mean, you want something that's gonna be if you're making something right. And I always looked at it this way: you're making something, you're putting something out there, whether it be your own project for the public, for money or whatever. But you've invested time into it already. You
Mhm.
want it to be your own. You don't want to have to, a month down the line get hit with some lawsuit or something because you cut a corner somewhere there.
Yeah, you when you cheat, you cheat yourself, you know?
You
And
do.
that's what you don't wanna do. You don't wanna have a classic album and you gotta take it down.
You
Why?
know, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's what happens. I think some people they think they can get away, or some people think they're even doing it justice, or but they don't understand. It's like I don't know the music's the same kind of way as like the YouTube world and everything. It's like copyrights are copyrights. You know, you need permissions, and permissions don't come easy. And even with those, they come certain restrictions. And some people just avoid it. They're like, oh, but I just do this, this, and this. And it's like, yeah,
Um,
but if you get caught,
right, and like they don't, people don't know that like a computer got an IP address, your body got DNA. Those samples they got DNA. So all you got to do is go to TrackLib or something and pay whatever you got to pay to the original people and get it clear and get a license and move on.
yeah, it just costs money most of the time. I mean, unless you're going after something that's, like a major production, it might cost a little more money, but that's more probably on the movie end, seeing that you're going to take a full song. But if you're just looking for a beat or a riff and it's popular, there is ways of, acquiring
Yeah,
these things
yeah,
to use.
yes, yes.
And and there are also a lot of places that do sell original beats, even though some of them will say like Drake and shit, but there are ones that create original beats. I used to play around with like, you know, what is it? It's one of those DAWs, but I used to play around and just make like horror samples, and do different
Okay.
things and put them out there and play with SoundCloud and do all that stuff. Because you always, again, I run into copyright issues with YouTube if I don't have original music, so I try to make my own music
That's good.
so I don't have to deal with even if it's just instrumental music or backing. I just need
Yeah.
something there, that I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to worry about owing somebody or paying something or getting the video not being able to be monetized.
Right, 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 right. Well, we're gonna talk about that Versace Stoner. I got you on that. I got you, all right? I got you
Uh,
if you need something for that. I got you.
I know I like it. I like your music. I think that like I said, I'm a big fan of music. Music is one of my favorite mediums of art. Um, it's something that can transcend this into the soul. It speaks directly to people. It can change your day. It can change your mindset. Like I said, it can hype
Yes,
you up. It can get you through a
yes,
tough time. It can be your
yes.
friend. I think a lot of people we lost touch with it because we don't have a radio set that we just turn on when we come
I
home or anything like
know,
that. We
I
don't have the
know,
live
man.
DJs that much.
Nah. So you'll get a lot of that in the new album that I'm coming out with. It's called The Best of Riders. It's 15 tracks. Um, it's something for everybody, all type of moods, no skips. I'm guaranteeing no skips. No skips.
Damn, that's gonna be good then. I
Mm-hmm.
always got to skip at least one track. I feel, but if
I
there's no
know.
skips, no skips.
No skips.
That's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have the CD player in the car just so I can buy the physical medium. Just because
And
when the internet don't work, then I can't listen to music.
right, and see that's one thing that a lot of independent artists don't do. Of course, we're not rich, but I always try to press up enough CDs for the fans and at least 100 vinyl,
Listen,
a
I
hundred
used to,
or 200
well, yeah,
vinyl. Mm-hmm.
and the vinyl that's professional. But I mean, I'm from the days where I'd go to the mall, I'd see this guy, he'd be selling like 6 or 7 T-shirts, but
I
then under
know.
the T-shirts would be like 50 or 60 mixtapes, and they'd all be
Exactly.
$4 a pop.
I
And
miss the mixtape era.
I do. It was good era. It was like 2003, 2004. I'd be walking places, I'd be selling these mixtapes. It was great because you would get a little bit of everything. They were bringing stuff from, I'm up here in Boston, so they were bringing stuff from the South at the time up here. We were getting stuff from the West Coast. We were getting all this stuff that we just weren't getting on the radio or anything close to.
Right. I remember when I came out with my first album, it got bootlegged and I was a little upset. And my sister was like 6 at the time. She was like, hey, if they bootlegging it, it's good. you know, they gonna buy the bootleg and they gonna buy the real one because they already heard it. Don't be mad.
Hey, I still got my letter from Aftermath Records saying that I'm
Okay.
being sued. That I'm being sued
No.
for downloading that 2001 Chronic on Napster. I got hit with that, and I'm like, what?
Hey, that album was banging.
It was a great album. That was another no skip album. I'll be honest. That was
I
probably one
agree.
of the greatest no skip albums.
I agree. I agree. That was a smoker.
But no, that was when Napster first came out, so everybody was downloading, and we didn't realize that even though I own the album, I bought it on CD, I bought it on cassette. But
Right.
we had our computers at this point, so now we wanted to listen to it in this digital format. People didn't realize that this is going to come back to haunt us. We just can't steal this shit. So we were getting letters left and right.
Right.
Um, oh, this is my. We did have my partner Victor here. He came. He wasn't sure if he was going to make it. I'm going to bring him in. Here he
Okay.
is. Welcome, Victor.
What's up?
Victor, what up?
How you doing today, sir?
All right.
What's with the setup of StreamYard?
They changed everything now to show for both formats, people that are watching going upright and people that are watching going sideways.
And why are they doing this?
Because people watch format in both ways, holding their phones.
I do. It's just hard to put up with one of you, Versace. I get to see two of you.
I know, but only one of me is talking. That's the good part. Only one of me is talking.
Yeah, but having to, in my dreams, thinking of you being twins would scare me.
It could. But we were just talking about I was talking about the early 2000s and, how digital music came out and people started downloading. But we were also talking about the importance of actually having physical media, even in today's market, because I think there is a market for it. I mean, if you walk into Target, what's the first thing I'm seeing now? I'm seeing vinyls.
Vinyl is
And
coming back. Yeah.
it is. I bought a vinyl player just so I could listen to a few records that I wanted to get because I wanted to buy them. Plus, they look cool. They come in these nice cases. They're big. They make them in cool colors. I'm a sucker. I got a huge Blu-ray collection. I'm a horror fan. I collect all my stuff physically because if the internet goes out or whatever, or these movies stop being played on a certain streaming service, I don't get to watch them.
Exactly.
I don't like that. I like to own what I bought and say, hey, this is mine. And
Me
it's
too.
the same with music. So like if I know you have a CD out there, I'll try to procure that physical edition because of that reason. Because it's a piece of it's one in my collection.
Exactly.
And that's great that the vinyl gets produced because there is a collector's kind of persona about that now. People are going after that. They're looking at that. Major record labels are putting them out. Independent people are putting them out.
Yeah.
More so, I'm seeing some of them are just going straight vinyl, not even CD in some places.
Yeah. Vinyl sell. It really sells a lot. Vinyl outsold every other format besides digital last year. So.
It's that nostalgia factor, I think.
How much is vinyl records worth these days?
Are you talking like a Michael Jackson vinyl or how much they cost? Period.
Just hypothetically speaking, let's say I have an ex-wife that has a box of vinyl records that's like in the shed. You can tell that if it gets damp, it's a box could be ruined. The records would be ruined.
It depends on what's in the collection.
Yeah, what edition, what version? It's very like picky, kind of like books. Like what edition, version, model you got?
You got the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack up in there, or something like that. You gonna get some money.
Now, let me ask you though, from the production value, does it cost more or less to produce that? I mean, CDs are simple. You can get a CD burner and pop those out like candy. Does the vinyl process a little bit more? You got to outsource that?
Yeah, I outsource all my vinyl. What you want to do is you want to get up with a distributor and make a deal with them. And hey, I need 300 vinyl. I need 100 tapes. I need 1,000 CDs. And then you just work everything out.
Work
like
everything
that.
into one price and such.
Hmm.
Very nice, though. I like I said, I appreciate the physical because there is a lot of artists that are just for the era of well, digital. They're gonna download on Apple and iTunes and go on Spotify, and that's good enough. And it's like, yes, but you're missing a whole demo of people. First of all, the people that don't want to pay for that every month. Second of all, the people that are older or younger that don't have access.
Right. And then what about shows?
Well, yeah, I mean, you should be doing live events. I take
You
it
got
you
you
go
gotta have
live.
yeah, you gotta have something for the fans. Don't and you can't go out there and do a show and don't do a song that they don't like or they expect you to do. You're not getting up out of that place.
You got to
Mind
do all
you,
your popular.
I'm not doing stadiums or nothing. 250, 300, you know?
But
Yeah,
you've been doing it a while. They know you. They
Right.
expect a certain, and if they've been following you, they want certain things. They want certain
Yeah,
songs done.
exactly. Sometimes I ask them, then I look at the DJ, and then I ask them, and then I look at the DJ like I'm messing with them, but it's part of my set. And
Got to
whatever
keep
they
it
say,
entertaining.
yeah, whatever they say, I had a DJ do it. Let's get it.
No, I like it. I like it. Now, how often would you say you do gigs like live?
The last gig that I did was in Detroit, and it was good. Matter of fact, it was in Michigan, yeah, Redwood, Michigan. And it was dope. It was packed. I was on there with other artists. It wasn't solely my show. But I'm gonna set up some dates after my album drop and probably go out like maybe in March or April. But I'm gonna be doing one-offs.
Now, how does that work? That when like you have a show with a bunch of like different artists, do people get along mostly, or everybody like leave me alone? I'm my own star kind of thing.
Most of the time, everybody pretty cool. But you do got those people. I won't even say it's the artists. I say it's the entourages that keep up all of the mess.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's always the fan base that's problematic more than the artist.
Yeah, it's always the entourages. But um, a lot of independent artists, they know that the work that you got to put in, they know it's not easy, and you just want to do your music and put on a good show.
And I mean, I like I said, I think that's probably the goal of every person there. I mean, yeah, you want to leave and get the record deal. You want if someone's watching, to sign you, or if there's an award.
No.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down. You want to do the best job you can do for that show.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. You only get one chance to touch the fan, and you don't want to be arguing with nobody or nothing. All press ain't good press, but you might want to go back to that place again, and you just showed your ass. They ain't gonna want you back.
Nobody likes drama nowadays.
No drama, man. I'm trying to stay out the way. Versace.
The only way to do it, really. Got to just keep
Hmm.
clear.
yeah, but
Um,
without drama, some of our shows would be boring.
No, man. Yeah,
And that's just,
yeah, y'all look at the artwork behind Versace, man. Come
yeah,
on, man. You
but
got the modern day
both
Van Gogh with you on this
we're both
show,
stay at
man.
home
my kid,
fathers.
my kid ain't even here right now.
We're both stay at home fathers. We both get paid by the state to take care of our family because that's what we do. So we could do this. So it's just like there's days that we just like record and be like, let's just vet. This is just like you go to a bar, you have a couple of drinks. What do? You vent to the bartender. We just vent to each other. And we're like, we can record. Let's record. Why
Man,
not?
y'all got a good show.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Hey, he's the captain. I'm the Mr. Spock. He's the Captain Kirk. That's why I
Okay.
won the group.
I started in the very beginning with independent wrestling. I like the independent scene of almost anything. I think it's the backbone of the world because that's where you are going to find the hustlers, the grimy
Yeah.
people but you're also going to find the people that want it, the people that really want it, the people that love it. They know that there might not be the biggest payoff, but it's still fulfilling. And those are the people you try to gravitate towards.
Yo, y'all like wrestling podcasts?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
Check
started
out-
off with wrestling.
Check
That's
out
what we started off.
check out wrestling discussions with Ashley Janae and I still call it a Lariat podcast. They good.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do a listen along.
But yeah, I started that way. And me and another partner, we were talking independent wrestling here in New England. My followers grew. I just kept doing what I wanted to do because I was having fun enjoying the show. I expanded into music, getting into. It's funny you mentioned the drill scene. That for modern rap, I started getting into the drill scene a little bit. I got a little late to the game, but I actually enjoyed Chief Keef's new album.
I did too.
And he was touring in my area, so I went to it, and that shit was on fire. I mean, I actually brought my son to it too. He's a big Chief Keef fan too. I know I shouldn't let my 7-year-old listen to it, but I got my mother. I got the mother's permission though.
No, that's cool. Like I like Chief Keef. Rest in peace to King Von. Lil Durk. They from Chicago. Yeah, I like their music a lot.
But I started to listen to it, and it brought me back to the early '90s when I was really big into gangster rap, because that gangster rap had a grime, it had a grit to it, it wasn't just about selling dope and making money. No, you was a gangbang, might get shot tonight and die.
I know.
And those were the stories that I kind of grew up with, and people that I kind of knew were into, even that weren't in my area, but were in other areas, were into some horrible shit. Like I said, the world isn't all butterflies, and you meet a lot of people. Skin color is only just a facade. There's people of all walks of life that have the similar situation, and that's what you just end up seeing.
That's true.
And that's what I was witness to a lot of the time, especially just meeting different. Like I said, I gravitated towards different people.
Right.
And sometimes the more messed up they would seem to society, the more normal I would think of them to me, because they were being real, something that other people weren't. Everybody wanted to be the cool kid in school, and this one and that one. The dude that was all fucked up, he was just being real.
Right. Real is rare.
It is. Everybody wants to be popular. Nobody wants to be real.
That's what we do. We if we have facts or something, we could go off facts. I mean, people, we've been to be honest, we've been blackballed out of the independent scene because we got some news about some undercover stuff. We brought it out, links to back it up and everything. And we were never called a liar. They just decided that we weren't.
Yeah, a lot of people have declined my show, said, nah, we good. We don't want the drama, this and that, just because he mentioned a few facts. But at the end of the day, that don't stop me from running, and that don't stop me from exploring. Like I said, I don't just have venture in indie wrestling. I love the music scene, and then I also really love the horror scene. I love horror movies. I go to horror conventions. I go there as many weekends as I can go. I get away and see movie stars. I love that shit.
We had a summer blowout with Gainesville Days one episode. They came on and performed for us. I mean, so we.
Where did they perform in Boston?
Who?
He said they came out and performed for
y'all. They did remotely. They're from
okay.
So they did like a little concert for us, like
okay. That's dope. That's dope right there, man.
I thought you meant Chief. Chief was at the House of Blues.
But we're cooler than the House of Blues because we can drink and smoke and don't have to worry about driving home.
No, that House of Blues in Boston is amazing because it got the dispensary 2 doors down. Chief Keef had the after party there. He was chilling there, just blazing all night. People could go in and out. It was wild.
Boston is an underrated hip hop market. People sleep on Boston.
They need not. They need not.
Portland, Maine. That's another big music city.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yep.
But
I'm definitely coming to Boston, and I'm definitely coming to Maine
well,
and
Boston, you come
Connecticut.
in. Connecticut's another great area.
Hmm.
But the people, everybody, the music here is diverse. Everybody loves every kind of music in Boston. People love
Yeah,
their rap, and the next minute they put on a rock song, then they play their '80s hit, then they're dancing out to Michael Jackson, then they moving on to fucking classical, and we eat it all up in one drive.
that's good.
My playlist is so diverse, you would think it's randomized by a computer, but it ain't. It's just songs I like in every genre because I
Yeah.
don't look at a genre as being the end all. There's rap, yeah,
Oh
but then
no.
there's rock. I love rock too. There's songs that have hit me there. There's songs that are even country that I've said, damn, that was a good song.
I like light rock because they got some of the best songwriters, best songs ever made.
They do. Now I take it you write your own lyrics. You mentioned being a writer,
Yeah, I write
which is
every.
good because you do hear now all of a sudden all these people have these ghostwriters. You're like, what is that? Like, come on.
Shit, if I got a ghost writer, it's the ghost of God writing from my heart, you know?
Well, maybe some people just have better voices and imaginations.
Exactly. I agree with
But
that
But if
100%.
you can do both, then you're the total package. You come in complete.
Yeah, man.
Um,
I'm
and
bringing
what?
it.
And now you said the voice ago. What inspires you? Like, where do you get your raps from? Where your rhymes? You said you're talking from the streets. Are you talking about things you've witnessed, growing up with, seen
Hmm.
personally, stories you've heard and told?
Yeah, so I just try to be different. I try to be myself, and I try to lay out my music in a way that hasn't been presented before, you know? Like my single Love and Hate, it's about a love story and a breakup, but I'm not doing a chick bad. I'm mainly talking about the chick loving me, but she hating me because she thought she wanted me, but she don't, you know? I'm not her cup of tea, you know? But you don't have to get down and be grimy on the women, you know. Sometimes you gotta take accountability for being a fuck up yourself.
No, that's facts. That's real life, though. I mean, real life isn't always one sided. It's things that we each do in a whatever situation that we might have fucked our own selves up.
Hmm.
Taking
So
that accountability is part of being a man, being an ownership, being an adult, being whatever.
exactly, and there's a lot of that going on right now on the internet talking about men don't take accountability and all of that. So that's why I put that out, love and hate.
I think men take accountability. I think a lot of them are afraid to show that they take accountability because they're afraid of getting taken advantage of constantly after they do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be with somebody, you gotta keep it a whole buck with them. You can't,
You want, yeah, but it's one thing of being accountable, another thing of being the fucking scapegoat.
exactly,
You got to be on that
exactly.
line in the middle. What's right and fair
Hmm.
is what's right and fair.
Exactly. Shit. I'm with you 100%.
You know, but
If you did everything you could do, shit, that's it.
and now that music is it. You would think some people would say, well, that there's no harm in that rap. You're not telling anybody they can get a quick buck. Like you said, you ain't doing anybody dirty. It's a real to heart story.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, do you find that the younger market enjoys that? Or do you feel like they want that shoot 'em up story kind of telling?
So it's like this. Just say an inmate in jail, right? They see the same fat security guard every day. And since that's all they see every day, they find something different that they like because that's what's being presented to them all the time, as opposed to who y'all favorite chick that y'all like.
Like artist or something, music.
No, beautiful. So let's say Holly Berry come into the jail. They're gonna be like, damn, she fine. That's how I want them to look at my music instead of seeing the same security guard every day.
So you make it stand out on purpose. You make it different. You
Yeah.
go out of the way, go the extra mile to go, damn, put the extra gloss on it
Mm-hmm.
and get
Exactly.
everybody to kind of go look. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important because a lot of people do, like we talked earlier, kind of just ride the wave. If the wave right now is this,
Right.
you see a bunch of people hopping on that wave, riding it like a surfboard.
Right. Right. You know what your parents always told you, never follow the crowd.
No, don't.
You know?
No, and it's true. I teach the same to my kids: be a leader, not a follower.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know where they're going to lead you to. At least you have your own mind. You know your own head. You know your own limits. You can lead yourself to either good or bad, but at least it's your choice.
Except
Right.
if you
You
boot
know where you want to go.
Yeah,
I'm
you want to be
sorry.
bad, then be bad, but at least you know it, and it's your choice. No one's led you there. You got to, and then again, the twofold value is you got to take accountability. Like I said, you want to do X, Y, and Z, that's fine. But you're going to have X, Y, and Z happen.
yeah, but what good and bad these days? Everyone's a prospect. It's
Well,
all
I'm
messed
saying
up.
like in school, he's not supposed to draw on his arm. They told him no more drawing on his arm, or he's not going to be able to play with Marcus. So I had to tell him no more sleeving the tattoo. Okay.
Right.
He was like, but why? I'm not hurting anybody. My body, my rules. I said
Exact point.
I said you have a point, but the school rules are they don't want you to do it. So two things can happen. You can continue to do it. I'm not going to say you can't because you ain't hurting anybody, but they are going to take away the markers and you won't be able to color no more. So you got to take accountability. X, Y, and Z can happen, but X, Y, and Z will happen.
Dude, I got so many questions to ask about that, but I will save it for another time.
You gotta close it out with this, Versace. You gotta tell your son, hey, school is your job.
He loves school. He loves to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I hate school.
No, mine don't. He loves to learn. He likes me. He likes to soak everything up. He's gonna watch this episode and then he's gonna want to listen to your music. Then he's gonna dance to it. He's gonna be
That's what's
gritty and
up.
shit. He'll be doing all these modern dances one after another.
That's awesome, man.
But I do appreciate and I do love it. I will wrap it up with this. Let me ask you something, sir. Where can people, I mean, you said you've been doing music for a while. Where can people find you, A, socially, so they can follow you and see what's going on? And also, where can they get your music?
All right. My music is on all streaming platforms. They could follow me at on Instagram at The Real Riders, and you can get my music on my website at www.ridersonline.net. Y'all go ahead and pre-order the album Best of Riders. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Yeah, I definitely do. I will pre-order that. I'm one of those guys that loves that kind of stuff. This way I can get the best of you all in one album. I do like the comp album. Plus, you promised no skips, so I'm gonna hold you to that.
No skips. And
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna
you
hold you to
know,
that.
we could do the y'all could come on my podcast too.
Oh, we would
Riders
be honored
Live.
to.
So let us know when.
We
We
would
could
be
set
honored to
it.
you.
We're gonna set it up just like how we set this up.
Yeah, you let us know when you're free and you want it, and we can make it all happen. Beautifully done.
Yeah,
That's what's
Versace knows my
popping.
schedule.
All right,
Yep.
once y'all lock in, we lock in, and it's a win-win
Always
for
a
both
win-win. And that's the
parties.
beauty of it. You know, that's why I like about collab, people working together, because you
Yeah.
meet new people, you meet new people you can vibe with, and everybody win-win.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
got some new
agree.
music to listen to tonight. That's a win for me.
Exactly. Man,
I figure like
I'm
that.
gonna let everybody know about the Versace Stoner podcast. I posted y'all on all my socials, and you know when we do the episode, I'm gonna look out.
Well, I appreciate it. And thank you for coming on and taking the time today.
Thank you very much,
And
sir.
we will be in touch very soon.
All right, peace.
Thank you. Peace out.
Yeah.
And thank you, everybody at home. Please go check out the album. Let us know what you think. Drop us in the comments. Likes, share, and as always, support independent scenes across the world.
Yes.
We out.
Yeah.